Hey guys, Blaze Gamer here, back with another video, and today we're going to be reacting to Marvin Vettori vs Kevin Holland. The fights went down last night. It was a great night of fights. Let's jump straight into this. So kicking off the main card, we had Mike Perry vs Daniel Rodriguez. Now this was a very good fight, very entertaining. Unfortunately, Mike Perry didn't get the win, but he put up a good fight. I was surprised that he didn't use more of his grappling. It seemed when he was landing takedowns, they were very effective. He had a good position. He had top mount, so he had good position on the ground, but he didn't really utilize too much grappling. I feel like if he were to, then I feel like he would have won the fight. But Daniel Rodriguez was landing some really clean 1-2s that were hurting and bloodying up Mike Perry. So I think he showed that he was the better striker. Mike Perry couldn't really get into range with Daniel Rodriguez. Perhaps that was because of the really long reach advantage he had over him. And I believe coming into this fight he was the favourite. I mean, great win for Daniel Rodriguez. I was a bit disappointed, but I think, whenever and whoever Mike Perry fights next time, I'll still be watching. I still think he's a really entertaining fighter in the UFC. I look forward to seeing him fight next. And he put up, as I say, solid performance. Great win for Daniel Rodriguez. And unfortunately, Daniel Rodriguez, as I said in my breakdown video, he lost to Nicholas Dalby, but I believe he won that fight. So, Daniel Rodriguez, as I say, great win for him. But moving on to the next fight, we had Nunes versus Mackenzie Dern. Now, I was really looking forward to this fight. I'm a big fan of Mackenzie Dern. The performance against Verma Jardina Roba was very good. A very good stand-up fight, very good grappling match, very well-rounded. I believe that fight also got fight of the night on the Figueiredo Perez card. So coming into this fight, Mackenzie Dern had a lot of hype, I believe. Now she's 11-1. She's got a really good record. Nina Nunes, who'd been out for 2.5 years, came in against an up-and-coming prospect. So she had a tough fight ahead of her. But it was a really good fight. The first round, they kind of got into like a flurry of punches. Mackenzie Dern was sort of catching her kicks, landing some jabs. Then eventually got the takedown. And then as soon as she got the takedown, in my head I was just thinking, just sort of waiting for her to get the submission, which she did. She got her in an armbar. It was a very impressive submission. I think out of anyone in the top 5, this is where she'll be now. Beating Nina Nunes will put her in the top 5 with Carla Esparza, Yan Chinese woman whose name I can't pronounce. But she's in the top 5 with a bunch of really solid contenders, and I think out of all of them, actually, I think she's probably got the best chance against Shevchenko just because of her grappling. I think her grappling is a massive threat. Again, I think she's going to be one of those fighters similar to Khabib, where it's not a matter of when she takes you down, but as soon as she does, what happens then? Quick submission, kind of similar to Khabib, I feel like. So I mean, I'm really excited to see who the UFC match up with next. I would like to say maybe Carla Esparza or someone ahead. I don't think the UFC should give her a top 10. I believe a top 5 opponent should be next for her. I don't know who, because I know Carla Esparza has been booked up with that Chinese woman. But I look forward to seeing her fight next. Perhaps maybe she'll get the winner. Maybe she'll be fighting for the title next. That'd be cool. But yeah, moving on to the next fight, we had Sam Alvey versus Julian Marcus. Now this was a really good fight, really close fight. For the time that it went on, the first round was very close. Sam Alvey had Julian Marquez hurt. Julian Marquez had Sam Alvey hurt. So it was a good back and forth. Round 1 could have gone either way. It was a really entertaining fight. The second round, Julian Marquez started putting on more pressure, started landing the cleaner shots, and then came out with a rear naked choke. It was really good how he got it to. It was like almost like a standing up rear naked choke. So it was very impressive how he got the win, and I'm very looking forward to seeing who he fights next. I think he's definitely a very good fighter, as we've seen against Maki Pitolo. Now Sam Alvey. I think he's got very good potential in the middleweight division if he keeps on working his way up. I think he could be a big, not necessarily big, but a fan favourite fighter in the UFC, much like Mike Perry. But just moving on to the next fight, the co-main event, a fight that I was really looking forward to. We had Arnold versus Sadiq Youssef. This was a great fight, a lot less technical than I thought. It was a bit more of a scrap. I think obviously it was very technical, very strategic, but it was a bit more of a scrap than a technical stand and bang than I was expecting. But Arnold put on a great performance. I believe he knocked down Sadiq Youssef twice, one with a clean left shot which sent him straight down, and then with a head kick in the second round. Sadiq Youssef, he had his moments, but a lot of the time he did let loose. He didn't really land too much. I didn't really see him land too many significant punches. It seemed to me like it was a clear unanimous decision win for Arnold, which it was. So again, great performance by Arnold. I'm really looking forward to seeing who the UFC matches him up with next. As to who I believe he should fight next, I believe you're definitely a top 5. I think he's saying he wants to take things slow, but I think he proved last night that he's the real deal. I mean, Sadiq Youssef, as I say, he's also the real deal. He's a great fighter. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Just came off with a big win over Andre Fili early last year. So I think Arnold proved last night he's the real deal. He's potentially a future featherweight champion. I mean, he's on an 8-fight win streak. I believe that's the second longest in the division. I can't remember. I want to say Sadiq's ahead. I want to say Sadiq's got the longest featherweight streak in the division. Well, he's up there now in the top 3. He's ahead of Alexander Volkanovski. But as I say, great performance by Arnold Allen. Really good striking, kicks, grappling, clinch control. He showed a lot about his game last night. Showed that he's a really well-rounded fighter. Unfortunate for Sadiq, but to me it kind of seems the last 2 fights I've seen of him, Sadiq, he can't. I don't know. He just kind of seems to be one of those fighters that he'll let loose, try and take your head off. If he doesn't take your head off, he just takes the back step, and not necessarily gives up, but I don't know. He just kind of seems like a one-hitter quitter kind of fighter. I wasn't overly impressed with his performance from Andre Fili, but I do think just the hype that he's got and the win streak he's on, I do believe, as I say, he was the real deal, and it was a real test for Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen, great fighter. But going on to the main event, Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland. Marvin Vettori got it done by unanimous decision. I believe it was 50-44. Very similar performance to Derek Brunson. It was a semi-decent fight. It wasn't the most entertaining, but I kind of expected maybe Marvin would want to strike with Kevin. I thought maybe you'd have a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. Maybe he'd want to go for the knockout, get an impressive win. But I guess that probably was his game plan for Darren Till. There's no way he was going to stand with Darren Till, so I guess there's no need for Marvin to change up his game plan. Especially, there were moments in the fight, rounds 3 and 4, where Kevin was clipping Marvin and definitely got Marvin's respect and had him backing up. And there was a great moment where he did land a couple strikes, and there was a massive smile on Kevin Holland's face, which really I was really hard. I was like, come on, Kevin. But I was really rooting for Kevin Holland to get the win. But nothing but respect. He took the fight on a week's notice. On a huge platform, the UFC being on ABC for the second time. So nothing but respect for Kevin Holland. I think he's definitely got a bright future in the middleweight division. I think he's still a great fighter. I just think, he needs to work on his takedown defense. I mean, maybe I don't know about Travis Luter, but it seems to be his corner. I feel like his corner could do a bit better. I feel like he could have a better corner. That's just me. Perhaps he doesn't need to train with Khabib, go to Dagestan. I'd say good performance from Kevin Holland. As I say, he took the fight on a week's notice, so no shame in losing to a guy like Marvin Vettori, who's now on a 6-fight win streak. I know after the fight he was calling for Adesanya, but I don't think he deserves a title shot. I think had he gone in there, had he knocked Kevin Holland out, had he submitted him and finished him, then I think maybe he would have been one of the next guys. I mean, obviously you gotta give it to Whitaker, but you know, Vettori would have been up there, top 3 guys in talks for a title, but it wasn't impressive. It was very similar, as I say, to the Bronze, like just ground and pounding, just hugging him for 5 rounds really. But as for who I think Marvin should fight next, I think Marvin and Derek Brunson should fight next. I know Kevin Holland, he said they should fight, but I think that's a great fight to make. You know, both very similar styles. Both got, you know, both can stand, but also can grapple, and the way they use their striking to sort of set up their grappling is very similar. So I think stylistically that's a very good fight to make. Yeah, this was it was a very good card last night, guys. I'll just go through some of the prelims that really stood out to me. Some of the prelims I really enjoyed watching. I'll just pull up the list here. So on the prelims, one of the standout fights to me was Impercosaginai versus Sasha Palatiniko. Now that was the first fight of the night, and Impercosaginai got the win by submission. Now this was a great win for Impercosaginai, coming off a really tough loss against Joaquin Buckley, where he got spin kicked in the face, and that knockout went viral. One of the best knockouts in UFC. Incredible. So just, you know, it's always interesting to see how a fighter, especially an undefeated fighter, comes back from a really tough loss. You know, we've seen it with O'Malley looked great in his last performance. Figueiredo, when he lost to Youssef Amiga, he came on a crazy win streak. So yeah, we've seen fighters, you know, undefeated bounce back, but we've also seen fighters who it's really affected and they haven't really been able to quite pick up the breaks. But it was great to see Impercosaginai get a victory. Another fight that I really enjoyed on the prelim was Hunter Azure versus Jack Shaw. Now I gotta give a shout out to Jack Shaw. Obviously he's from Wales. I thought the fight was very close. I think the first 2 rounds were probably the closest. I think the third round was probably, you could have gone to Hunter Azure, but the first 2 were close, which is why I was very interested to know how the judges would score that fight. I wasn't 100% sure that Jack Shaw wasn't 100%, that's a pun, an accidental pun there, but I wasn't completely sure that Jack Shaw had got the win. Just looking at the Luis Aldana and Jordan Griffin fight, I thought Jordan Griffin clearly won that fight. So just coming off that fight, I was a bit iffy to see how the judges would score the Jack Shaw fight, but Jack Shaw got the win by split decision. Great win. It was mainly a grappling fight. It was a high level grappling match. I didn't see Hunter Azure's last performance, which was meant to be a very wrestling heavy performance. So, you know, you had 2 great grapplers going in there. Jack Shaw got more takedowns on Hunter, and he defended more takedowns from Hunter. So I think Jack Shaw, you know, I think he's proven himself that he's a really great, well-rounded fighter in the bantamweight division, which is absolutely stacked. So I think that's a great win for him. Again, he's undefeated. As for who I'd like to see him fight next, in the bantamweight division, I'd say absolutely stacked, crazy division, some great fighters in there. I think the fight to make, Nathaniel Wood, I thought he beat Casey Kenny, so I'd love to see maybe Jack Shaw fight Casey Kenny next, or maybe I don't know, Chito Vera. Give him, obviously it would be better to give him someone coming off a win, but in terms of skill, I think I think Nathaniel Wood, Chito Vera, those kind of names would present a lot of challenges to Jack Shaw. So I look forward to seeing who the UFC match him up with next. But great fight. Really looking forward, as I say, to his future in the UFC. Another fight I'll have to talk about: Jorgen de Castro versus Dano. I can't say his name. Dano. I can't say the name, but got a win by devastating KO. Knocked him out cold. Great win for Joris. I can't say his name, but Jorgen de Castro. Again, the last fight I remember seeing him was on the Whitaker Adesanya card, and he beat Justin Tafa. Now Justin Tafa, his UFC debut was in his hometown, Australia, and he came plunging forward. Jorgen de Castro countered him, sent him straight on his ass. Got a great win, and then I believe he went on to lose to Greg Hardy and now Jaris. I don't know how you're saying his name, but very impressive KO. Yeah, I didn't know who Jaris was. I just knew he was Syrian, which is quite cool. I don't know, but yeah, let's say really impressive KO. Great win. But yeah, just looking at the prelims, those were the ones that really stuck out to me. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content I've been putting out recently. I also just made a Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4 review. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link in the description. If you guys want to stay connected on Instagram, I'll also leave my Instagram in the description, so you guys can, as I say, stay connected and keep track of videos. There's going to be some great videos coming out next week. I'll just say on Monday I've got a Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan video essay, very similar to the Usman Covington 2, which I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me on that video. It's a lot of fun to make, so you can expect more videos like that, because there's a few rematches I really want to talk about. And as I say, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, that's a rematch that definitely needs to happen, and it's basically just going to be explaining why I think the rematch won't be close, why I think Peter Yan will get the finish and dominate Aljamain Sterling again. But as I say, guys, please like, subscribe, and peace.
Under 2 minutes to go. Well, pretty good work off of the bottom here by Jones. Solid strike on the ground. "90 seconds now to go in round one. Let's start to pull your leg through and pass the half guard. Bottom fighter trying to control posture, unable to do so.
And now he's in a lot of danger. He's got to grab that head or he's going to get blasted.
Keep moving. Oh, okay. Hey, cover up. Hands up.
45 seconds to go here in round one. So 40 total strikes have now landed for Glover Teixeira. Back and forth we go. Oh, huge block. Oh!
What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this moment. Go finish this fight.
What an end to round one. All right, so a big round for him there, maybe even a 10-8. There was...
Foi fantástico, entendeu? Você acabou com ele. Você derrubou ele bonito e agora ele já tá...
All right, 5 minutes in the can. Here we go now with the start of round two. John Jones and his counterpart, Glover Teixeira. Nice punch there by Glover Teixeira. Huge strike lands there, and somehow his opponent's chin held up.
His opponent's chin held up, but you do not want to be on the receiving end of those types of strikes.
Oh, nice land there with the punch. You see, he's taking advantage of what is an obvious edge and reach. All right, good job by him there to raise the guard and protect his head.
He's doing a good...
Oh, man, what a connection right there. I'm not sure his opponent knows where he is.
No, he is on Beach Street right now. He's seeing Tweety birds over the top of his head. When you take a hook like that, you are on wobbly legs.
51 total strikes have landed for Glover Teixeira. And landing with 50%.
Nice double leg shot.
Let's go. Work for the underhooks.
Oh, able to slam him down to the ground. Well done. And he's back up again, so the takedowns have been there, as have the get-ups. Stuffs the takedown there. How good is his takedown defense? Now he engages in a Muay Thai clinch. You better protect.
He needs to start looking to finish now because he's got his opponent hurt very bad.
Back to the feet. Under 3 minutes now to go in the round. Well, his corner was pretty urgent after round one. A little bit lackluster there in that opening round. He has certainly picked up the pace here, and as a result, he has taken control of this second round.
Move that
Stuffs the takedown, no problem. Well, he's up, but oh, is he hurt. High amplitude, and a nice job to stick with it there to complete the takedown.
Let's go, I need you to posture and bomb on him.
As he gets close and he's out of the kicking range, he'll change his stance. Look at how he turns his hip into that leg kick.
Oh, nice connection there by Jon Jones, and he is fighting with a definite killer instinct here. Oh, a huge strike lands there, DC.
He landed that massive shot.
And just like that, the fight is over.